Hey everybody. I wanted to do a little landing tutorial for the new people. Um, so what I'm going to do is teach you how to land on some place that's like a outpost or mining outpost, a bunker, that kind of thing, just to show you the safe way to learn how to do it. And then as you get more experience, you can cut out some of the steps. So here I am. It's dark because it seems like it's always dark. And I'm here someplace. I'm at a mining facility, and it's here somewhere. There it is, down there. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to turn your lights on, and the lights will obviously illuminate. It'll help you out significantly. Now, I want to point out one thing that's specific. So I'm in a Cutlass Red, and some vehicles like the Cutlass Red have this thing called VTOL. You'll see it if I can look in there. I'm using a Tobii eye tracker, which is why it's moving all around. VTOL, vertical takeoff and landing. On certain ships, it'll allow you to change the flight characteristics. So let me get to it here. So here we are. We're looking at my ship. And I'm in normal flight forward configuration. What VTOL does is it allows you to change the engines. So it reduces your forward speed and changes that thrust to vertical, which helps you land easier and take off easier. And on some ships it's very dramatic like this one. In other ships there's little vents that pop up. And on the Talon it actually has little wings that change and they come in. So a couple will bring their wings in, that kind of thing. Okay, so now we're getting ready to land. We've found a place and say, well, I want to land down here somewhere. So you'd normally fly in lower. I'm a little higher, so we'll go up a little higher. So now that you've got your lights on, obviously you can bring your gear down, verify your gear's down, and now we're just going to go down. And one of the things you're looking for is the reason this third-person view is important is because now you're looking for people running around, but more importantly, you're looking for boxes, for posts that are sticking out of the ground, for rocks. I don't like this. I'm just gonna turn the ship around here, right? And maybe I'll come down a little bit further and see, I'm over the pad. I don't want to do that. I want to land on the ground, so I'll just slide over with my joystick. Make sure you're out, right? So now I'm going to come down. I'm going to land. All right, so now I'm looking and I can see what's happening here. I'm making sure I'm not going to get stuck on anything. And I can tell how far I'm from the ground. It's pretty easy. And then I'm just going to settle it right down. Kaboom. Now, some ships, especially the bigger ones, will take a moment to stabilize. Their shocks will bounce around and then they'll ease back in. So we want to wait for that to happen real quick. It's really easy to tell here. Now, on a number of ships, like the Cuddies and the Spirits and the Carracks, they only have one way in and one way out, and that's some sort of ramp. And a common problem is you can land, it'll be slightly uneven, or you'll be on a rock, and the ramp won't come all the way down. And what happens is, if you're in a hurry, you'll run out and realize you can't get back in, and you're stuck. So what we're going to do is we're going to check that. So the way that you can check that is to open all exterior doors. And so in the Cutlass, it's over here on the right, it says Open Exterior. I'm going to click that, and what it does is it opens the rear door, and then you can look at it to see, is that pretty much touching the ground? Yeah. If there's a big space there, you'd want to reposition it. Now, on some ships that have docking collars like this, it also opens these side doors, which we don't want. So now that we're visually looking at this, the next step is to close everything. So why? Why do I want to close everything right away? What players love to do, pirates love to do, is they love to wait for ships to land. They hide in the dark, and then they run in dark places. And once the person opens their ramp, they'll run inside and gank you. So this way, if you knew there was somebody there, you could immediately get out of your chair, and if you weren't in an armistice zone, ready your weapon and go take care of them. Prepare to defend. So we always want to kind of close up and always be mindful of that, because you're going to find players that do that. Other times what they'll do is they'll run and they'll hide on your ship, and I'll talk about that in a minute. Okay, so now we're here, we're landed, we know we're going to be able to get out. The next thing you want to do is you want to hit I and turn off your drives. You want to do that because leaving your engines running has a couple effects. The primary one is it uses fuel, so if you're going to try to save fuel, that's great. The second is it reduces your emissions, and so it means that your ship is going to be slightly harder to detect for ships that are coming in. The last thing I want to teach you for Shutdown is if you look over here on the Support 2 console, you'll see this triangle looking thing. And that's your power distribution. At the bottom, it's thrusters. Top left is weapons, and then the gear icon at the top right is for shields. And what we want to do is we want to hit F7 to change that all the way to shields. F8 changes it back. F7 goes to the shields. What we're telling the power plant to do is put all available power to recharging the shields. What this does for you is that if you're out and about and somebody comes around and goes, ooh, it's an unattended ship, let me just destroy it, ha ha ha, your shields will regen typically faster than they can destroy it, unless, of course, it's a bomber, in which case nothing's going to survive. Although it might, if you're far enough away, you actually might survive. All right, so here I am. I've got my engines off. I know my ramp's good. My shields are, my power distribution set to the shields. It's time for me to get up. So I'm going to get up. And we're going to walk through, all the different doors to get out. Now, if you are not in an armistice zone, which we are, you can see that with the bullet in the top right, you would be right here. You'd want to ready up because sometimes, especially at bunkers, if people are hiding out or Jumptown, people will be hiding out and they're going to start, they're going to try to rush your ramp, maybe start shooting you as soon as you open it. We're going to drop the door, but first I want to talk about this. So open and close, straightforward. On some ships, there's something that's called lights or floods. And what those do will typically turn on floodlights on the ramp in the back, which is very useful for you because it illuminate it so you can see what's going on, and that will also illuminate players trying to sneak up on you. So we're going to go ahead and open. You're going to want to look out right away, make sure there's nobody out here that's going to threaten you. And then before you step off, you'll see there's a lighting glitch here, right? Now you can see that my ship lights, my floodlights have come on automatically. Before you step off, you're going to check this ramp. Are you down? Yes or no? Sometimes when you get to this point, the ship will bounce around due to some weird mechanics in Star Citizen. So you want to take it careful. Now, all right, looks good. Now I can get off. What happens is sometimes that ramp will stop like right here, and there's no way for you to get on your ship. All right, the last thing you do is you close your ship. The reason you want to close your ship is when it's closed, nobody else can get on. And that doesn't matter if you're going to get a vehicle, if you're just running to drop a package off, you always want to close this so nobody can get on the ship. It takes a little extra time, but it'll save you when people are trying to pirate you. All right, so let's say that we've done that. We've just reopened this. We've got open the ramp. We've come into the ship. We want to stop here, make sure nobody's following us, and we immediately want to close it. Now, if you're working with other people and you're not solo, you don't have to be this cautious because people will help you out here. They're going to know what to do. All right, so now let's say that you've come back, and for whatever reason, oops, your ramp was open for a while. We might now, you have to be thinking, oh gosh, there might be a stowaway. So normally what you're going to do is like, okay, I'm on board, I want to take off, and you're going to run straight for this door. And when you do this, you might detect somebody over here, but you're probably not going to detect somebody sneaking around over there. Maybe you would. So as you're running here, just kind of glance over and see if anybody's there. Nobody's there, that's great. Now on cutlasses specifically, there's a wonderful place to hide. So now, and I'm going to show you right now. So you're going to take off. That's what's on your mind. You're going to be so focused on that, you're going to run straight up in here and get in the thing. What you've missed is this whole section over here. Players love to hang out right here in the toilet. They can sit here in the toilet. You'll never see them. Boom, 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 boom. They shot you dead in your back. Usually they'll wait till you're in the air first, and then they'll shoot you. Sometimes they'll be sitting here and they'll be sleeping in your top bunk or your bottom bunk, and you just won't notice them. So as you run through this door, you still want to have your gun ready and make sure that there's nobody here. Clear your ship. Okay, ship's clear. We're done here. We're going to take off. We're going to get in the pilot seat again. We're going to do the reverse of what we did. We don't have to check the ramp any longer because the ramp's closed, but we're going to come over and look at support console 2 here at the power distribution, and we're going to reset it back to equilibrium. Then we're going to hit I. The camera's glancing down because I'm looking at my keyboard and Toby is following me here. We're going to hit I, and that's going to turn on your engines again. Now remember, we're in this VTOL configuration, which means we can go up really fast. So what you want to do is if you have a Tobii eye tracker and you have a nice thing, you can just look straight up. Make sure there's nobody there. And when I'm at bunkers, with playing with my teammates, I look up and sure enough, there's an A-1 Spirit bomber directly overhead, or somebody's just taken off in a cutter and they don't realize that I'm going to go straight up. If you don't have that, you can always just use your camera view to look around to see where people are. All right, so now I'm just going to gas it and up we go. Now from here, what I do is I'm going to teach you how to get to out of the atmosphere sufficiently to engage your quantum drive. Now, why we want to do this is you typically are trying to go somewhere in a hurry, right? So you're going to exit to atmosphere as soon as possible, exit the atmosphere as soon as possible so that you can turn on your QT drive and get to whatever you're going. Now, if you're in team play, you may also be getting ready to move to the next location. You may not have it yet. Somebody may have to share the content with you, but you don't want to be the one that everybody's waiting on. You want to be ready to go. So here's the fast way to get there. So I've taken off now, and I'm going to do three things essentially right in order. I'm going to turn my VTOL off. Boom. I'm going to raise my landing gear, and I'm going to pitch up. And then as I'm pitching up, I'm moving up, as you can see here on the screen. I'm going to go all the way up, and I do this very rapidly, all the way up to about 85 or 90, and then I'm going to push the throttle forward, and up I go. Now, let's talk about this red box on the screen on the left. That's your speed limiter. Here, I'll move it around so you can see it. It's your speed limiter, sometimes called a governor. Sometimes it's here, sometimes it's there. What this does is it limits how much thrust your ship will produce. And when you produce thrust that's in, if you move it up like this and you then go this fast, when you hit the red zone, you're basically going as a bullet. You lose more or less all ability to change the direction that you're moving in. So why is this important? Where would you use this? Essentially, you'd use it for two reasons. The first is if you are trying to disengage from a dogfight, run away from something, or you're trying to get to the upper atmosphere so that you can quantum. There's a handy little feature that's in settings that's called the speed limiter on and off. And here's what it looks like. When it's on, it's a square. When it's off, it's a little hard to see here, but it looks like a portal cube normally when it's off. There you are. There's your portal cube. That's off. That's on. That's off. This is on. When you turn it off, it means the ship is going to go as fast as it can without your intervention. So I'm going to pitch up now, and I'm just going to start going this way. And then now use your boost. And when you use your boost, you're moving up and you're going super fast. The other thing you want to do roughly at the same time is turn on your quantum drive. Now you notice on the screen everything's red. I can't quantum there. And unless you're in a broken ship like the Talon, where everything is always red, this is going to be your indicator when you're sufficiently out of atmosphere. So I'm going to go push straight up, and I'm going to hit boost. And so now you've taken your VTOL off, moved your gear up, you've pointed up, you've turned your speed limiter off, you've hit your boost, and now you're making for space as fast as possible. You don't typically want to do this because anything in the red as well as the booster is going to use more fuel, but now you can see everything's turned green, pretty much everything. And so now I'm ready. So I'm playing to QT to my next place that I'm going to, or if I'm playing with team members, they're going to say, oh, we're going to go here, and I can see it, and I'm ready to go, and nobody's waiting on me. So hopefully that was helpful for you. If it is, let me know.